A huge wake-up call for me was I had this thing that I'd written for a while and was kind of sitting on because like I wasn't really inspired by it and whatever, and Linda and all this stuff. And then I watched someone's thing, and the first scene of this thing was basically the first scene of my thing. And I was like, wow. Like,
you were
almost
like,
line for line.
Can't be beaten.
And it really inspired me to be like, do it. You have the thought, do it. You have the thought, put it out. Like it really, I was like, wow. Like it was such a wake up call moment for me. And I was like, okay, period. Like you have to do what feels really authentic to you.
It's sort of like how to survive the content machine.
Totally.
I'm Luke Steinfeld.
And I'm Wyatt Sarkissian.
We made the 50/50 podcast to support you on your filmmaking journey.
50% business, 50% creative.
Every Tuesday, a new how-to.
This week, we talk with actor and comedian Johnny Marx. You may remember Johnny from early on in the podcast. We spoke with him about how to start in stand-up comedy. In a way, he was our lab rat. We didn't really know what we were doing in the podcast space, and he was just trying to figure out how to level up in stand-up. Well, since then, Johnny has produced nearly a year's worth of stand-up comedy in his monthly show Linda at Nico's Wine Bar, ripping out a new tight five every single month, growing not only as a stand-up, but as a well-rounded multi-hyphenate. And for us, well, our goal with the podcast was to always have it feel tonally like it's just friends catching up, bonding over the insanity of the industry and having a productive yet relaxed catch-up. And I think we finally did it with this one. Enjoy.
I went to Babylon 2 nights ago, like a late night random screening.
The movie.
Babylon.
Me thinking, I was like, place. She's
jet set.
She's jet set. Okay.
Is that
Babylon. Oh, that's like an ancient place.
It's an ancient place.
Okay, and it's a Lady Gaga song, which is what I thought of at first.
Okay. We all have our sort of different cultural understanding.
Babylon, and that's mine.
And that's what the movie's about, actually.
Yeah, the movie's about that.
It's amazing.
But there's a large part of that movie where it's like the best scene in that movie. I think it's so funny when they like sound becomes a thing and they're trying to get that like that first take with sound.
Oh right.
Oh,
and
Babylon, which is the movie.
How hard it is to do
it's
that.
so hot and everyone's freaking out.
Right.
I watched Amsterdam with my little sister, thinking it was Babylon.
Right.
And then about half
because
they did come out at the same time.
Both
And
like thought of as sort of bombs
of course,
a little bit.
Of course.
Box office wise.
Box office wise. And halfway through I was like, this is not the movie I thought I was watching.
Babylon.
And we just kind of kept watching Amsterdam.
I never saw Amsterdam. Did you see Amsterdam?
No, I didn't. But I feel like the cast was great, right?
Yeah, I remember it being like a crazy cast.
It was.
But I couldn't tell you
couldn't
who's
really
in the
tell
cast.
you
Margot?
a name.
Margot question mark? Margot?
Yeah, Margot.
And I think
Margot's in Babylon.
No,
Is
but
Margot also in it?
that's what I think was confusing about it. Same time, location names, right?
Yeah.
What is Babylon?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, and Margot
what
was
is
in both.
Amsterdam makes sense. Like Amsterdam, like okay.
Anya
Amsterdam.
Taylor was in it. Our girl.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
She's great.
Yeah,
She's
love
great.
her. Love her. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I Johnny.
Well, here we are again. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank
you
you.
were what episode? Did we
Like
know?
literally
Seven?
maybe?
Yeah,
6,
within the first 10 for sure.
Current young.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my god.
And we're at like this will be
300.
60
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Mid-60s.
Yeah.
67.
Which is
probably.
over a year,
Yeah.
famously.
Congrats,
60
you
weeks.
guys.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. Oh
Thank
my
you.
god.
You were super formative. We were just
I
talking
know.
outside about how, Luke, I don't know if you remember this, but in our sort of conception of the podcast, we were like, how structured is it going to be? And we had Johnny, because we knew he's just such a good sport. We had Johnny like write out an outline.
Like we need Johnny.
Yeah, we were like, we're like, write out an outline of exactly what you want to talk about and just walk us through basically how to, I think it was like how to be a stand-up comedian. Yeah, how to start stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And it was so structured. And after that episode, we were like, that was amazing. We're probably not going to do structure anymore.
Well, someone DM'd me recently and he was like, how do I get into stand-up comedy? And I said, not to sound literally crazy, but I did a podcast on this that I actually think is kind of fierce.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. And then after he said,
That's exactly
I
what
will
we
follow
want.
your podcast. And I said, thank you.
So he listened to it.
Yeah,
and-
I guess. I hope
yeah,
he
it's
did. And then he
fantastic.
said, do you have any shows in DC coming up?
There you
I
go.
said,
yes.
You said, I can.
I said, I'll get back to you.
How many people can you?
How many people can you bring?
We talked about that. We talked about the hamster wheel. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Of course.
We
But
love that
also
metaphor.
the big one was, because I feel like we've said this to so many guests
Yeah.
after, but like you were like, I'm thinking about putting on a stand-up show.
So I just said this to White outside. I was like,
Yeah.
because I listened to the episode embarrassingly like a few days ago because I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to
It's
like
not
repeat stuff and I
embarrassing.
want to
Yeah.
like see like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy to be
Yeah.
like, we're thinking about starting the stand-up show. We might do it on the east side. And I'm like, oh my God.
did it.
It's
Yeah.
so
You did
crazy.
it.
And it's
So that was
been
really
more
crazy.
than 12 months.
Yeah, we've
of,
done it, yeah.
Of Linda. Do you want to give like a little,
Yes,
quick recap
of my show.
Yeah, what is
Linda?
Linda?
So we throw a
Yeah.
monthly comedy show called Linda, a comedy show. We
Yeah.
start it by doing a cold open as these mom characters. Then we do like 7 minutes as the moms. Then it's just like 5 LA stand-up comics, and then us doing our little sets. Me and my partner Bebe Katsenes, friend of the pod,
Yeah,
has been on the
Bebe.
pod.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
festival. She was
And festival,
guys.
year one.
Formative,
We
yeah.
were really the OGs. But yeah, so that's the show. I throw a show. It's in Atwater Village on the east side, which is like where I say in the podcast. I'm like, oh, we think it would be like suited on the east side or
Right,
somewhere.
right.
It's at Nico's in Atwater Village. Such a great venue, so great. And yeah, we've had a fully sold out run for over a year now. And
amazing.
yeah, we started
Yeah.
in April of 2025, and then we just started our little summer hiatus. Our last show of the year was in May, I think. So
Yeah,
far, yeah.
yeah.
What was it
totally.
like listening to that first, like the
Yeah,
episode?
totally.
Well, you're
was
talking
it-
about
was
like
it-
the dream of doing a
Yeah,
monthly show.
Totally. It's so crazy how some of it feels dated in the way of just like things moving on. Like I talk a lot about the comedy club that I worked at, and like that's closed down now. And I talk about like the system that's used to sign up for open mics, and that's new now. And I'm like, oh my God, but it was like a little time capsule to like listen back to for sure. And then I think the thing with Linda is like I really didn't know what I was getting into when I started it. I didn't realize like how big of a part of my life it would become, which is actually funny enough what I said about stand up in that original thing. I was like, oh, this kind of wasn't supposed to be a huge part of my life.
Right.
And I think something I've learned for myself is like for me to get into something and to really start doing something, I actually have to like not realize how big of an undertaking it is.
Right.
Because the second I do, I just don't start, you know?
Right.
So I'm so lucky that like Linda came into my life in that way. And
you're
yeah.
kind of like, this will be like a side thing, a small thing. I have a partner with it. And now it's like
It's like one of the
every
biggest
month
things
is
of
like
my
beginning of the
life.
month. You're like, okay, finish that show.
New
what is the
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
totally.
also a thing you and BB do is you make 5 minutes of new material.
5
every
minutes of
week.
material.
So in addition to that sort of mom sketch that you do in the
Yeah.
beginning where you're playing the Lindas, you also are both part of the lineup.
Yeah.
And you're doing, is it a fresh
New
5
five.
minutes?
The
Yeah,
only time
fresh.
I repeated was our final show because I was like, girl, it was just
Yeah.
we talked about this and like I can get into we're doing like a hiatus and stuff and like towards the end it did kind of become like pulling teeth to figure out new material. It really did. Like
Yeah.
I was like, God, what am I talking about? So I finally gave myself some grace at the last month and I was like, it's okay to like repeat something. I did like half of something I'd already done at Linda and then I added to it.
Okay.
And I was like so happy with it. So yeah, we do a fresh 5 and it's been an amazing writing exercise for sure. And it's gotten me like so much material obviously. But yeah, the last one I did repeat my little thing and it was fun. It was a good time.
I feel like in stand up though, you almost want to do that,
Of-
right? Where it's like you
right.
want to be polishing and polishing and polishing,
Yes.
and like by the end of 11 or 7, 8 months, whatever it was,
Yeah.
you know, of fresh material, you can look at that and be like, okay, what was great, what wasn't, and you guys were recording these
Totally.
shows.
Yeah,
I feel like I remember, and like you can kind of pull from like what was really working and what wasn't. I guess.
Yeah.
Were you not, so every time you're doing fresh material, you just kind of discard the show before that,
So
or was it like
that's something that BB and I talked about a lot. That was not a problem with the monthly show, but a reason that we wanted to take a little hiatus
Yeah.
because as stand-ups, you're supposed to be doing the same material over and over and over again to perfect it. So when you're writing a new 5 every month, you're kind of going on with like a 75% worked material, if that,
Yeah.
and then you're like you're saying immediately discarding it for the next month. So you're not perfecting this 15-minute set that
kind of
you
like
can go do anywhere.
anti-stand-up?
Yeah,
But it's also
totally.
like a productive
Yeah.
mental exercise.
1,000%.
Writing, 'cause you said
Yeah.
writing
Right.
So there's
Yeah.
definitely so much benefit to it. And now I have probably like 30 minutes of material.
Wow.
Not like stunning,
Yeah.
fabulous
Yeah,
30
yeah.
minutes of material, but I have so much material that I now would love to just go and like perfect and perfect and perfect
Yes.
and make really amazing, obviously. But yeah, that was definitely something that felt a little stagnant and a little hard with the monthly show at a certain point. Yeah, totally.
The goal going into Linda for you and probably MBV, I guess, is a shared goal. What was that? And then have you achieved that? Or are you now like, that remains the goal, or the goal is so different now that I've done this? Like, where's your head at with that?
Amazing question. going back to what I said when it started, how not even knowing like what I was getting into, I don't know what my goal was. I was like, we're doing this thing. Like it was truly to do something. And I think I do also talk about this in the first podcast, that it was like stand-up I kept doing almost accidentally because you could just keep going outside and doing it. So it was kind of just like, right, the next step is like have a show. Like, because at that time I was working at that comedy club that was like so insane, and I was like hosting their open mics and like on the hamster wheel. And I also talk about this on the last podcast. It's like you realize it's up to the host to throw an amazing show. So we just got to the point where we're like, right, well, it's us. Like we're doing all these like shows that are just run so insane and flop and crazy. We know we can put on a good show. If you just put in a little more effort, you know it could be a great show.
And you guys did that. Like Linda was very even
from
like,
the first one. From the first one. Thank
you very much.
I know that you guys put a
very
lot of work into that, and I know for a fact that you guys had, and we can get into this, amazing comedians on some of your idols in a lot of ways, who then after the show would be like, this is one of the best. Like,
and we would hear from comics like they would be like, oh, I heard that your show is like the best show, and I was like, and it is. Like there was such a good show, and it's not. It's like you just put a little more effort into it,
and
that's I think such like a Bebe mentality that I've really taken on. She's like, it doesn't have to be that hard. She's
a great producer.
She's an amazing producer. Yeah. We put a lot of effort into Linda. Like, I'll be honest, it takes up so much of my month when we were doing it, but it's not impossible. Yeah. And I think going back to what was my goal with it, I guess that was really the initial goal of we want to be consistently doing stand-up at a good show. And we definitely got that for sure. Yeah, so I definitely feel like I achieved that initial goal with Linda, and that's kind of a reason that I feel like the hiatus is really helpful, because it's allowing us to be like, okay, now what's the goal? Now that we did this, what's the goal now? And when we started Linda, we weren't even planning on doing these mom characters. Bebe was like, what if we tried this like mom character thing in the beginning? If it doesn't work, we'll just come out as ourselves the next show. We were like, sure. And now we're like getting booked on other shows as the mom characters.
Well, I remember
it's crazy.
We went to the first Linda, I think.
Yeah.
We saw them, and then we were immediately like, we have to get them 450-50.
Yeah. Oh, right. Sort of well, that was our, Oh my God, it was like a month into doing it. Yeah, immediately. Too small, by the way. Yeah. Sorry, the buttons. This is not a sitting shirt. It's
people like that.
Okay, amazing. To my guys out there.
People really, we saw that right away, and we were like, we have to get them on 50-50. That was the first time I think you guys performed outside of Linda.
Yeah.
And now you're like a hireable act.
God.
You performed with Nick Kroll. You performed like, it's crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Before we get to sort of these next steps, whether it's with Linda or with, just the future sort of what's going on this summer, I want to talk about community, because I know that was a big through line in terms of finding community within the stand-up scene.
Totally.
In LA, West Side versus East Side, all that stuff. And you had just graduated school practically. You were just figuring that out.
Yeah.
Do you think Linda provided that sort of sense of community for you?
For sure.
And what was that like?
Yeah. So I think now it's like that's how people know us, like in stand-up, which is really, really nice. And just
as stand-ups or as the producers of a show?
I think as producers of a really fierce show, and then like people who also do stand-up, if that makes literally any sense. Like I don't know, it's just like
no, totally.
It's a good like, especially
because it's a common thing to like host a show and do stand-ups
totally.
Do that.
Especially at a venue like Nico's, it's really nice to be like, oh, I host a show at Nico's. People immediately know what that is.
Right.
That's really nice.
Because of you guys.
Yeah. Mama, put the girl on the map. But yeah, so people definitely like know what Nico's is. They throw a lot of stand-up now. And yeah, community, kind of what I said in the last episode, but now I've seen it, is the East Side is definitely where we belong in terms of like weird stand-up comedy. It's definitely hard for me because I don't live on the East Side, so I do still go to a lot of West Side mics with like me and my straight guys, my like 30-year-old straight guys. But Bebe's found a really, really amazing stand-up community, and she also just really loves the stand-up scene. I've talked about this with her.
She's so involved.
She's Tapped in Boots the House, and it's so amazing. And she like knows all these people that she wants to have on the show and stuff.
Stand-up and improv,
and improv, and just like the world. Yeah, totally.
Well, part of everything.
I told her once, because my friend Teresa and I were talking just about career stuff, and my friend Teresa was like, every time I go on an agency's page, a comics page, a short films page, followed by Bebe Katsenes, and I'm like, yes, because she is Tapped in Boots, and like it really is very inspiring. So she's definitely found such an amazing stand-up community, and she goes to like, the East Side, like Who's Who mics, I'm not like, it's so funny, I still always feel like stand-up is such an accident for me. Like I'm not someone, and I told Bebe this, that like I'm not like diving into the stand-up scene in that way. I feel like an actor who does stand-up, if that makes sense. Right. But yes, we definitely have found such an amazing stand-up community through Linda, for sure. Yeah, period.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like the Natalie Ortega episode where we
Yeah.
talked
Oh, that's
about,
Mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's amazing, but she's always been actor first.
Totally.
And she was kind of like, it was like during COVID in New York when she was like, let me
Yes.
just like get up
Well,
and just like, it's a way to perform and like
yes.
work those muscles.
And she wanted more comedic roles.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
She kept
Right.
getting cast in a
Right.
certain
Well,
way. And
when
she was
she-
like, I
yeah.
want, I don't see myself as this. And I know I have these comedic chops. How do I prove that?
Yes.
Stand
Totally.
up.
Stand up.
It was a way for her to like, you know, expand as an actor.
Totally. And when
basically.
did Linda Bebe was like, oh yeah, she's just coming from doing Nessa and on Broadway and Wicked. And I
Right,
was like,
crazy.
fierce.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Totally. Yeah. So yeah, it's a great calling card. It really is. I think a lot of people, not her obviously, because she has like her whole hour or something.
Yeah.
Like some people will say like, I do stand up as a means to an end. And I'm like, girl, it's a shitty means to an end. Do you know what I mean? Like that's kind of a rough
what does
means
that
to an
even
end.
mean?
Like people being like, oh, I want to do stand up and then that will like showcase me in other ways and like launch me in some way. But I'm like, girl, it's a lot of work to be doing that as a
Right,
means to an
right.
end. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had people say that to me and I'm like, wow, that's gaggy. Go you if you want to
can
go out and
not,
do all that.
Like, even in Natalie's case, I
Yeah.
guess, I don't want to speak for
Yeah,
her,
totally.
but just assuming of like using that as a foundation
Oh,
to
totally,
kind of
totally.
sprout
You know what I
from.
think it is, and this is not
Yeah.
Natalie at all. There's people that are up there. You're like, you don't love this. Like, you're not about this game. Do you know what I
Totally,
mean?
dude.
Whereas Natalie has
Yeah.
carved out something that's so her.
I was about to say, that's very
not-
authentic to
That's
her.
the thing. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's yeah. So she,
Yeah.
that's nothing about her in that way. But it just made me think of when people are like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll try stand up. It's kind of like, I'm like, man, you
Yeah.
gotta love it. You know what I mean? Like, you really
feel
have to
that.
be that girl. Yeah, totally.
I mean, from a programmer's perspective, like through the festival,
Yeah.
and like watching so many short films, it's fresh because we have the Horror Fest coming up, so I'm consuming a lot of short films right now. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Fierce.
you can tell from the first 10 seconds of a short film,
Yeah.
does this person
Are you in it for the love of the
actually
game?
care about film or not?
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Which is interesting. And you feel that in stand up
Yeah.
immediately too.
Totally,
You know, like, are they
totally.
up there and they look glazed over? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're not
right
here
away.
for it.
Totally.
You know?
But stand up can be
Yeah.
a really, really great calling card in that way if you like love it and you're obsessed with it.
How does it become a calling card though? Because
Totally.
I guess it's a throwback to the old episode, that the original episode was
Yeah.
yourself, but
Mhm.
if you do open mics and hopefully you start bookings, like how does that even
Totally.
audience,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know
There's
what's
all
helped me?
that.
Like,
Yeah.
it sounds so dumb, but like, even when I did Maria's short film, the one that was in
Yeah.
50-50,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I, by the way, listened to that episode where you guys talk about me, and it's the sweetest, kindest thing ever. And I didn't
Yeah.
even realize the story that, like, she saw me do stand up and she was like, oh, I want him in my short film. I, like, didn't even really realize that, or like, this other thing that I'm kind
That's
of.
one way though.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Right there.
This other thing that I'm about to go film is someone that I met who I was like, oh, come to my show, Linda. And then she saw Linda and she was like, oh, I know what you do. Going back to like what I was saying about Natalie, it's like, if you're going on there and being exactly who you are on stage, people know where to place you. And I think like that's helped me a lot. It's been able to me in my head to be like, all right, this is who I am. And like this, it's like you're showing like an acting reel for like 5 minutes. Like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Like, go and be yourself.
Totally.
So I think it could, clips for sure or have been a calling card for so many people. It's the most like yourself you can be. You're just on stage with the mic, you know?
If you're doing it
if
right.
you're doing it well.
Yeah.
If the girls are
Yeah,
slaying.
but that's such a
totally.
great point.
Yeah.
And we've said this before, but if like everyone's always like, oh, you know, it's about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And stand up allows you to be in a
On
lot of
stage.
different places at a lot of different times.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
You know,
Yeah.
and there's recency bias where it's like, I'm casting for a comedic short film or
Totally.
a movie coming
Yeah.
out, and I'm like thinking about the characters, and I go to a stand-up show, and I'm like, oh shit.
I also
this
think
kid
that
is-
as
Totally.
someone who works at a production company, it's so important for me to go and see stand up.
Totally.
Because I always like sometimes I'm able to like I can see a pilot in that person.
Of course. I remember
Oh,
you
that's
said that
interesting.
about Cranky Mom, Mary Who.
Yeah,
with who,
yeah.
totally,
Still wanna be put
totally.
in touch with
Best
her.
person
Yeah,
ever.
like-
Oh my God, I will connect you guys. She's the
But-
best person.
But
I
like
know.
someone, because stand up is
Yeah.
so you're, especially if you're doing like a 15-minute thing, your act is that's your story
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Totally,
So as a
totally.
producer
Yeah.
and writer, to see someone's story
Yes.
is like there's something there. Like especially like a big goal for me is like to make a sitcom surrounding a comedian
Yeah,
and their story.
totally.
So like how can I do that?
Yeah.
I just think it's so personal.
Story and voice.
Yeah, right,
Because like
right, exactly.
character is so much about voice as well as stories, the context
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
voice. But like when you're doing it right,
Mm-hmm.
which you are there, and I guess turning it into a question a bit of like, do you think Linda was able to get you there, or do you think you went into Linda kind of already having a sense of that voice?
Oh, I think I definitely had a sense of that voice, and I think I'm someone that always has had a really good sense of who I am because I was acting as a kid, and I had a really good sense of who I was because you kind of like being told who you were as a kid, like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what you go out for. But I think the more you get on stage, the more you're going to develop that regardless. I talk about this in the last episode too that I keep referencing, but it's like the hosting that open mic at that comedy club that has now closed was just like boot camp of just like getting on stage. And Linda was just like more of that. So yeah, I think just the more you do anything, you just like slowly start to pick out, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am. And now I feel like I have a just, the clearest sense I've had so far of who I am, and that will keep happening.
That's amazing.
It's like,
that is amazing.
It's so, it's almost unfortunate how much it makes sense.
Yeah, totally. This was the wrong shirt.
This is
But
we were expecting this.
It's okay. This is what we don't do buttons.
I know buttons.
But also the shirts just wrinkle, dude. They just
that's
sit.
really hard. I'm just like
Your shirt?
I just mean like t-shirt, like when we wear shirts.
Yeah,
but
that's okay though.
it is. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're not looking. Yeah, they're
Okay,
not.
maybe. I mean, this is hell right now for me, but it's okay.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I'm like slouchy queen, but okay.
No, seriously, it looks
But I know
great.
who I am. Yeah, totally.
But I guess the point was of like, output is output, and refining leads to like every single year. If you're doing it, you should be at this place of like, I know myself a little bit more. I know myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as there's output, whatever that is.
Totally. Do something. Like this sounds, I don't mean this to sound like stupid in any way, lol, obviously, but I was talking to a friend who was feeling really stuck in her career, and I said to her, I was like, I don't want this to sound condescending, but my advice is do something. Something. Step one, totally.
Well,
because
journaling,
when you
say something. Can you like be super practical about that?
But honestly, something. Like I know that sounds so dumb, but like I think a lot of people get caught up. Where is this going to go? Where is this going to be seen? Write 2 minutes of a scene and film it and put it on your Instagram. Go to one open mic. Literally something. Pick the field you want to be. You want to act. Submit to one project on Actors Access. Just do something because something leads to something else. And it sounds so simple and so small, but like as someone who felt stuck for so long, Linda has just like really unstuck me in so many ways because one thing leads to another thing in a way you could just never expect, So that would just be my advice to anyone who feels stuck in a creative career. Do something.
I think it's, and I have so much empathy for that stuck position too, because I think especially with social media, it's a unique sort of paralysis that our generation goes through, right?
Yeah.
It seems like it's so accessible, which it is, but at the same time, you are seeing the best, like on
everybody
Reels,
do
you're
it.
scrolling on Reels, you're seeing the best of the.
You're
only seeing.
Like, that was the idea I had.
Right, you're only seeing stuff that
someone did it and it did well.
Track record that has already has tens of thousands of views, and you're like, well, they've done it. I can't do it.
A huge wake up call for me was I had this thing that I'd written for a while. I was kind of sitting on because like I wasn't really inspired by it and whatever, and Linda and all this stuff. And then I watched someone's thing, and the first scene of this thing was basically the first scene of my thing, and I was like, wow, like
you were
almost
like,
line for line.
I can't be beaten.
And it really inspired me to be like, do it. You have the thought, do it. You have a thought, put it out. Like it really, I was like, wow. Like it was such a wake up call moment for me. And I was like, okay, period. Like you have to do what feels really authentic to you. It's sort of like how to
survive the content machine.
Totally.
Do it. It's such a double-edged sword because you want to be super intentional. And I think once you do make your first thing, you realize how much time and effort and energy it takes, and so everything after that you think about it and you're like, well this is actually going to cost a lot, and it's going to require me to put all these people together and timing and the back end, like editing, and then I have to like distribute it, of course, and you start getting kind of muddy, and it's like, you know what, maybe I'll think about this other thing, and then you get lost for X amount of months and not doing anything. And so it's just crazy, but it's like you don't want to put anything bad out, but we're also at our age group.
You also have to fail.
My tea is literally put something bad out. Like literally put something flop out. The louder, what did someone say recently on like Truly and Instagram Reels? Like the loud fool is making more money than the silent genius. And it's such tea. Like girl, put something out.
There's
like
because
it's clip farming. But genuinely, kind of what I was saying before. It's
how
like
to clip farm.
My next episode. But truly, like that's what I was saying before. It's like everything I've ever gone into is because I didn't know how much work it was going to be. Because you're right, when you start to think about how much work it's going to be, you don't do it. Like I think about my senior year of college, I was so inspired and motivated, and I was writing amazing
the
stand-up.
exact same
And I was
way.
writing these,
Yeah.
I did these 2 short films so quickly.
Yeah.
And it's because I was just like, of
You
course.
didn't know.
I was like,
You
of
didn't
course
know.
we're going to
Yes.
do. And that's
There's-
with Linda. I didn't know how much work. If I knew how much
Dude,
work it was going to be.
ignorance is a beautiful.
You would have never
ignorance
done
is
it.
a beautiful
Totally.
thing.
So there is like some
Totally.
beginner's luck element in that way, but I think that's why I've kind of come to the conclusion of like make it and make it bad.
Yes.
Make it and make it bad, and just put it out. And yeah, period.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
please.
I'm writing a few things right now, and I have been pushing myself. What's the worst version of this?
Totally.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a very different. They're short. I wouldn't take that with the feature.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd like break down scenes with that. Like, what's the worst version of this line of dialogue or
Totally.
something? But like, I'm trying to take the pressure off in a very different way because I'm definitely in the boat of like, I've seen this. I know how much time stuff takes, how much money, energy,
Yeah.
effort, all of it, and so it's
Yeah.
getting muddy. But pushing myself just to ask, what is the worst version of this? Takes that. It's just like, why not?
1,000%.
You know.
It's so funny because like those when you're thinking I'm gonna write a screenplay,
Yeah.
your producer mind comes in right away.
Immediately.
You're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
what's the overall quality of this?
Yeah.
How much is it gonna cost? All
Clock that
this,
gag, yeah.
and that producer mind almost like causes you to not write
Yeah.
it. It's like
Yeah.
you have to like
Yeah.
push that away.
Yes.
and just allow yourself to be like. There's something about being an artist that is so impulsive in a
Yeah.
beautiful way. Like you have to just follow that and blindly not care about like
Totally.
how much it's gonna cost, how much time it's gonna
Yeah.
take me, how many hours I should be working.
Yeah.
Like all of that needs to go out the window.
Yeah.
And you just need to learn how to fail. You know?
Exactly.
Put the flop
Exactly.
thing out. Like,
Yeah.
please do. A lot of other people are, and they're doing really well
And
with
like
it.
I gotta hear that constantly. Like
Yeah.
I had a similar
Totally.
situation in college. My output was insane. I
Yeah.
was like putting so many sketches, everything out there. And then even you and I were like putting
Yeah.
stuff out there and filming so much.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
Right, you don't know.
You're like,
you don't know.
We want to do
Yeah.
this, so we're gonna do it. Why
Exactly.
wouldn't we?
Totally.
And now we're like, well, we have to make money. We have a whole
Yeah.
life.
Of
We have
course.
jobs, everything.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like there
totally.
are all these reasons to not do it.
not do it.
And I think so many people are just like, shuddered by that.
Also, like, it doesn't have to look so fab. Everything looks so fab and perfect, and there's
Yeah.
so much money right now.
Yeah.
Like, going to the whole, like, I'm so fame sick pilled right now. Lena Dunham. I don't know if you guys are reading Fame Sick,
yeah.
but she had this, like, web series or whatever. It was called, like, 4 Fab Girls or, like, 3 Funny Friends. And it was, like, on YouTube. Or, like, the Broad City YouTube series. Now, obviously, they got their series. But I'm like, it looks crazy, but it's, like,
Yeah.
funny and there's a lot of heart in it. You know what I mean? And, like,
Totally.
that's what you need. Like, put something out.
Yes.
It's just, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
I love that, and it's super fun. To
Yeah.
like, it's inspiring just sitting here, you know,
Yeah.
and it's because we're all in that boat. You
Yeah,
know, of
totally.
like we just gotta push and do it.
Yeah.
On the note of ignorance, it's so unfortunate because like you hear it back in the day of like, oh, you'll see. Like
Yeah.
for now, like yeah, it's whatever. But like the muscle atrophies quickly of taking risks and doing it because comfort is so
Yes.
comfortable
Totally.
and safe and like you know it's a monthly show and I've never done something like that, so let's do it now. Would you do a monthly show?
We'll be right back.
I want to play like a scary song from like a horror movie before this, but all the copyright stuff, so I can't. But imagine there's like a scary song playing right now and it's like, oh, the 50/50 Horror Festival is coming up. You need to submit your short film soon by August 7th. August 7th is the deadline. You have 2 months to submit your short film. You have 2 months. And then after that there's another deadline. Read it here first. Submit now. Submit now if you dare. Now, but for real, we have our horror festival coming up in October. October 18th is the actual day. Get your short in by August 7th if you want to be a part of it. We look forward to viewing your submission on Film Freeway. 50/50 horror. Those are the numbers. 50/50 horror.
If you asked me to start a brand new monthly show, I would be like, no. For the work it takes, but also for the goal. That's not really the goal for me specifically.
well,
And
you don't have to
yeah,
do. You have a
totally.
month.
Yeah, I don't say
Exactly. You already have one.
Also,
That's
like, 2
true.
monthly shows.
Yeah. Like, I don't need
Like,
another one. Yeah. So what is the goal now?
Yeah.
So basically, like I said, how when we started Linda, we weren't even sure we were doing these mom characters, and now I think that's become like the part of the show is like the mom characters, like that's kind of the gag. So I don't want to say like exactly what it is. Like I told Wyatt outside a little bit, and like I just don't want to, you know, we have other avenues of Linda in the works, avenues that we're so excited about, and really cool things that I hope, you know, materialize. But it's also been really nice to be booked on other shows as the Lindas. Like that's been really, really great, and it's allowed us to meet so many people. Like, yeah, a reason we're taking this hiatus is to kind of take a break from and be like, how do our lives feel without it? What's the current goal? And what are we really getting out of it? You know what I mean?
And to like sit with yourselves too.
Totally.
Like we talk about all those 5-minute segments. Like you're gonna want to like look back at those and be like, what were those little like golden nuggets that I can take?
Life experiences to write stand up about. Do you know what I mean? Totally. Totally. Go, like, you have to go out and like live your life. You know what I mean? And I feel like I wasn't living super a lot of life. So like I said, it felt like pulling teeth to do. It's not like it sounds so cheesy advice, but every actor says this. You need to live your life to be able to create from it. And it sounds like, oh, I'm being lazy right now by going to the club, but it's like, you gotta have to go to the club. Like, we should be at the club. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's another great thing of the hiatus. Yeah, but it's a good question. It's like, I definitely would not start a new monthly show. And that was something I really asked myself, okay, what am I getting out of the show right now?
And I think I was understanding of that, of like, again, you already have a monthly show, but more in the sense of like, okay, you know, now knowing what you do. And like, perhaps, as you said, you know yourself a little bit more even too. You just mentioned this with Linda's. What are you thinking,
Michael,
as Johnny Marx? Like, are you,
totally.
and where's your head at with, you know, end of summer is a couple months away, whatever, and this new year is coming.
Totally. So I think like my newest venture is I am like an Instagram Reels comic now.
You are. Are we going to talk about it?
We can unfortunately talk about it. We can talk about it. Because, so I think we had lunch or drinks with Arthur and Andrew, my kings of my life. And we were talking a lot about things. And one of the things I was saying in that was like, I'm seeing everyone get so successful on social media and then get all these amazing opportunities. And I think I kind of have this mentality that was like, everyone's doing that and succeeding. But then I just flip my mentality to be like, everyone's doing that and succeeding. Like, you know, like there's a path. Like there's something to do. Totally. So I think like a current thing for me is that, I found a way to post these videos that like I genuinely really enjoy, and like I truly make myself laugh like while I'm making them.
Format.
And I will watch my videos and be like, oh, like I'm a Johnny Marx fan. Like
it's also like
because
you're an experienced stand-up now. Like it is very writing. It's joke heavy.
And also here's the tea, and here's the tea. Okay, so get ready to clip this. Get ready to clip this. But so talking about like knowing yourself, sometimes I'll see people go super super viral in ways that I'm like, this is generally relatable content that tells me nothing about you. And then I pull a lot from my inspirations like Meg Stalter, Jordan Firstman, who got really popular making these online videos showing exactly who they were and showcasing themselves. So when Meg Stalter is doing her bits online, her Hi Gay, which is like one of her first like big videos, you could see that girl and be like, I need her to act in something because like I now know who she is, and not just making content that's generally going to go super, super viral and get like a lot of shares. So not to like hype myself up, but I do feel like in my videos, I showcase who the Johnny Marx character is. I showcase how I can kind of like perform a little and like write like jokes. Like, oh, I can also write jokes, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
And they're basically, it's literally like from what I've seen, like the caption is the premise, and then it's punchline.
Totally, it's like a mini set or a mini sketch. Yeah.
How much prep did you do going into this?
Totally. So it was something in my head for a while that like I really wanted to do, but I was kind of getting in my own way about it. And then one day I was posting something on my close friend's story, just like a little video of me like explaining something, and I was like, oh, I look really good right now. I should just take one of these videos. So I did, and I thought it was gonna be something that I was gonna have to like write and sit down and like whatever. But like on the couch that I was on, I just did like a quick little, just held the camera in different ways and just started saying little one-liners, edited it together and posted it. And that's what I do now with all of them. I sit down, it takes me 15 minutes.
So no writing.
Just I have a notes app on my phone of concepts, like, but in terms of the writing, and you'll see like if there was, let's say I showed you the video without the cuts, I'll like say two things, then I'll be like, all right, what else? no, and I just go into the next line. Like it's literally all improv, and it's all just me saying things in the moment.
If you're in that creative flow state, like that's
also,
the best. That's the best.
A hard part about stand-up on social media is, okay, let's say for a whole month I write a set. Then I go do a 5-minute set at Linda and I get that recorded. Let's say 3 minutes is great and usable content. I clip that into 3 clips, and then I have 3 clips to post that month that I put a month of work into, and they all flop. And we're like, amazing. So it's so much better. The advice I've always heard about social media is post every day. You have to be posting every day. You can't post stand-up every day. So doing these videos, I post 3 a day. And it's like, and then if they all flop one day, I'm like, who cares? It took me 15 minutes, you know?
You're posting 3 a day?
Yeah. You know, you got to be hopping on is Instagram trial reels. You could post reels to people that are not your followers. So if they bomb, who gaff, no one's seeing it. And also, you're not inundating your followers with videos every day.
So you're posting 3.
Posting 3, and then the ones that do well, I share to my followers. Yes, yep.
Wait, sorry,
yes.
Break it down.
Totally.
Trial reels, basically, you got it.
Yeah, so trial reels, you post them to people that don't follow you.
Right.
So I post 3 videos to trial reels because if they bomb, no one cares. No one that I know is seeing it. And also, I'm not inundating the people who I follow or who follow me with 3 reels a day.
Right.
Then,
so how are you utilizing that? Like,
if
in your
all
process?
3 flop, okay, I keep them on trial reels. Who cares? If one of them does well, there's a button that says share to followers, and I share to my followers.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's so fierce.
That's cool.
And then, like, when I would post a stand-up video and it wouldn't do well, I'd be so sad because I was like, God, this took up so much of my time, so much work. I really edited the video. I love this clip, and it just wasn't doing well. But if I post 3 little skits that took me 15 minutes and they all flop, that was 45 minutes of my day. You know what I mean?
It's a game changer.
Yeah,
And
totally.
But I don't think it's like people should just hop straight to that. I think it's like because you truly, like, I do think creative process wise, you had to go through that. Putting on a show every month, of course. Like you're not able to like improv
going back
in
to
these
like,
trial reels unless you have got really refined your joke writing process.
Going back to the whole like Mike Stalter thing, Jordan Firstman thing, these were people that really like knew who they were and like started putting that
writers
out.
And actors.
Writers,
and like,
totally. I think a lot about like Jack Greenberg, who we had on Linda, who has created such an amazing specific thing for himself. EJ Marcus, who we had on Linda, has created such an amazing thing for himself. These people that I just saw and I was like, I like
the way
my whole reels
are
is
they
Jack
like
Greenberg.
Jack Greenberg,
what are they, or like the persona they are on Instagram?
So Jack Greenberg specifically like has such a persona where he's like this awkward. It's crazy. Like it's like I told him at the show, I was like, I can't finish your videos. Like it's they're so like the character is like guy at a party that's like, hi, or like it's crazy.
It's just, the guy who just like says in the most passive aggressive way that he's better than you.
It's just crazy. And they're so like uncomfortable, but like in the best way. And like let's say I was writing something where I wanted that guy. Immediately I'd be like, Jack Greenberg. Totally. So I would see people that like my passion is not like day in the life content. My passion is not like me talking about just my daily life because I want to showcase my writing, my performing, and my personality in an actor way, kind of. So I would just see people that really inspired me and I was like, okay, I like how they're doing it, so like I can do it like this, you know? Yeah. But like you said, you shouldn't just jump to that. I think you should really carve out for yourself like, who am I? And I've been doing that for a while now, so it's easy to tap into.
Totally. Great.
Yeah, totally.
It's amazing. And how has it been seeing these numbers?
Yeah, totally.
Like, does it feel?
Yeah.
This is really working.
What does it feel
totally.
like? What's the response?
Yeah.
you're getting?
You know what's really nice to like look through who's liked it and see it's like all gay guys, and I'm like, that's the audience that I want to build. That's another thing.
That's
Knowing
amazing.
who you are. Make sure you're building the audience you want to build so that when you put out your gay short film, all of your gay guy followers care to watch it. You know?
If you have that audience, like an audience, it's amazing.
So that's the thing. And like, I got a comment yesterday that was like, I'm laughing so hard, I can't wait till my partner comes home so I can show him this. And that was just like the best thing ever. And to get like really nice DMs. People have been like really sweet. People have been like, this is what the gay community needs right now. I'm like, okay, go off my little videos. But so it's been
also
really,
like
really
these
nice.
things are there. It's personal to you.
Totally.
It's like it's genuinely like you.
Totally.
You. A lot of it is like you know what you see on Grindr.
Totally.
Right? And it's
like
it's like the frustration that you have with this.
And it's so nice to then have a million people comment and be like, yes, oh my God, we're not all living, we're all living the same life. Totally. So that's been really nice to see. And I think like specifically with gay guys, there's such a thing of like, we don't support each other. Everyone's jealous of each other. Like, I don't know, that's kind of how people talk about themselves. Then to see all my likes and comments being gay guys, I'm like, I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think we're all so excited for each other and are all like really similar in ways that we don't even let on. And it's been been really, really amazing to see that.
How long have you been posting 3 times a day?
I started June 24th, the day of my sister's graduation, I
Whoa.
think.
It's
been like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been like
And
a few weeks.
why
Yeah,
3 times a day?
Totally. Actually, that's not true. I started
Yeah.
maybe like 2 weeks before that because I think it took 2
Okay.
weeks and I was like, one did well, and that was the day of my sister's graduation.
Okay.
I'm
The
sorry,
day
we were
of your
saying
sister's
why 3 times a day?
Yeah, why 3 times a day? And then also,
Totally.
is 3 on trial reels mean 3 actually on TikTok? Or like, what is that on
Also,
YouTube?
So
Congrats
here's
to
the
your
guy.
sister on
Yeah,
graduating.
Yeah,
Shout
congrats
out,
to your sister
truly
on
shout out my girl
graduating.
Zoe,
Yeah,
about
it's
to be
amazing.
USC, about to be at USC. My little sister isn't
Congratulations.
amazing.
Fight
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
But yeah, so 3 times a day because probably I literally just heard someone say that like
Yeah.
on a reel.
And is it at the same time 3 a day? Or it's
Yeah,
like,
I post right away. Time does not
Yeah.
matter. Hashtags do not matter.
Yeah.
You could post at 1 a.m. People are, guess what? Always on their phones.
Yeah.
Someone's
People are
on their
always
phone.
awake.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
When
so
when
maybe
I
your
was
clips are just
yeah.
bad.
Totally. No. Oh my god. No, because here's the
Do you
tea.
do trial reels?
Here's the hot tea though.
Yeah, I
Here's
do
the hot
all
tea
the
though. My
time.
life sucks.
That's
But like, okay, so here's the tea. Like, I believe in my stand-up clips so much. Like, I've never put
Yeah.
out a stand-up clip that I'm like I said, I'm a Johnny Marx fan.
Yeah.
But they just weren't doing well. And I was seeing so many other people with really funny stand-up clips just not doing well. And I've heard Linda comics backstage who have big followings say stand-up clips are just not doing well right now, which is why everyone is going to this sketch format because that's doing well. And that's the reason I decided to hop on that format because I was like, this isn't going to be the thing that's doing well for a while, so I might as well hop onto that. I think it honestly ebbs and flows with what people are staying on. When I was in college, everyone was doing stand-up on TikTok. That was before I started really doing stand-up. It was viral. You'd post stand-up, you'd go viral.
Totally.
I think what makes a video get seen to a lot of people, algorithm-wise, is how many people skip it. If a lot of people are skipping it within the first 3 seconds, you get a really high skip rate you can see on your analytics, and they stop showing it to people. So
just like,
I think people have become a little oversaturated with stand-up to the point where they see someone with a mic and they skip it.
Yeah.
And how do
But
people feel about podcasts?
it's hard. It really is. You know what I mean? I wish I like had the,
podcasts probably aren't that popular, right?
that's the
podcast
thing. It's like
clips.
I don't.
I actually don't see. Yeah, it's probably just like a sort of industry thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with us.
But yeah, like I think that's
Ebbs
kind
and
of the good
flows.
thing about the. But you know what I've seen even people do with podcasts? They'll put the like best tidbit right at the beginning, almost like a coming soon, and then
Yeah.
they'll
Right.
start the clip. You know what I mean?
So
it's
what's
really about
crazy
catching people's
is
attention
we
right away.
actually-
Yeah.
we do that.
Totally. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do
Slay. Yeah.
We
Well, I
do
see
the-
you
the
guys also
coming
do a
soon,
nice
and then-
thing where like you post the caption in the beginning, like advice for whatever. Like that's
of
nice.
The actual Instagram.
Yeah,
clip.
totally.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm saying the full episode.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
thing. Yeah. No, totally. Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys obviously do that for the
Yeah.
full episode.
You're
But
saying-
no, for a reel.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
we don't
people
do that.
for a reel. I've seen.
This is so
It's
fucking stupid,
That's it's
by the
crazy.
way.
It's crazy.
This is
It's
so,
crazy.
like,
and it's absolutely
what
hell
little
on
Here,
earth.
here,
It's
here,
hell on earth.
here,
What
it's
fucking
hell on earth.
short
Yeah,
fused
it's hell on earth.
strange
And I will say,
kids
like,
are like
I'm-
needing like I need to see the
By
best
the
part
way,
of the
I'm that
my
kid.
clip
I'm
is
that kid. I'm a
my-
Coco
by the way
Melon.
by,
I
by the way
constantly.
clip
Yeah,
is
yeah,
15 seconds
totally.
that's way too long. I need the
course.
best part of the 15 seconds
Me,
first.
by the way, what
first
my
second.
old idea,
Yeah.
my old idea, and I really
And
wish I
they need
did
to see
this.
like Subway Surfer next
No,
to it.
I was gonna say
It's
my
fucking
old idea was I was gonna
like,
start putting Subway Surfer under my stand-up clips, like
So
as a joke.
good.
But like also that's the
we
thing.
should
like,
put like some insane thing on
you
there.
guys
That's
have to,
terrible.
yeah, literally.
We should
So-
put like zoo
Sure.
animals or
Sure.
something.
Just like
Totally,
Little Brian.
Coco
That's-
Melon,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll tell our-
Like that's the thing. It's unfortunate that sometimes
clip
this
turn.
feels like the case, but I don't know. Just something I'm trying right now. You know what I mean? We'll
Yeah.
see.
That's awesome though.
Totally.
And you're already
yeah.
seeing results in the span
Yeah.
of
Like a
I don't
few
know. It's been
weeks.
a few weeks.
Yeah.
So you give
Yeah.
Arthur and Andrew credit for this.
I really do at that. Well, I think I
Yeah,
started
what
posting
was the
before a little bit.
conversation
with
We had
Just
the best
about-
conversation any people have
Because
ever
it's kind of
had.
just like former
they're
50-50
amazing.
podcast guests.
No,
kinda
we
getting
really
together.
the first thing we talked about was 50-50
I
at
love
the
that.
dinner. It was
That's a
amazing.
common,
No, yeah, literally.
yeah.
We talked about truly
We'll probably
everything.
have to
And
film
they're so
the
inspiring.
sort of lunch next time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Film
that
it
should
for
be a
content.
series.
we
Getting
actually-
drinks with
'cause
people.
Miles
Guests on
Potter-
guests.
Guests on guests. Guests on
Guests
guests.
on
Guests on
Miles,
guests.
Miles Hodder, who won the comedy festival,
Funniest person.
hit up Kate, who's also at the
Saltel.
comedy festival, and they wanted to do a director on director.
do
Wow, really?
They
we
were
should
like,
start
You
doing-
guys should set up
We will do
50-50s
that.
directors on
We're going to.
directors.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
so smart. Oh
yeah.
my god, this shirt is too small on me, and it's really embarrassing to
No,
me.
but we're gonna do that.
But yeah, you
We're
guys
so-
should really
the,
do
the
that.
frame is just gonna be zoomed
Wow,
in on
it's so
your
embarrassing.
shirt.
Yeah.
You guys, that's an amazing idea. Oh my god, yeah.
Miles
and they're
Hodder.
such
Miles,
great
yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Film
so
it
funny.
here,
Kate,
yeah.
yeah, totally.
Maybe,
But
or
yeah.
maybe we change the location. Maybe
we
we
go to Canada for
go to Canada.
Yeah, of
Miles.
Go to
course. It
Canada.
needs to happen there.
Sort of.
Have you been to
Tax.
Canada?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I went to Niagara Falls as a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
I was
Fierce.
Niagara Falls.
Period. It
Luke
was
didn't know that you grew up
fierce.
in New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. New York girl.
Yeah, I
love
really
being
didn't
New
know
York.
that.
Yeah,
Where did
really.
you think he was
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, where do I give?
He just kind of like
Maybe New York.
emerged.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Fierce.
I
Okay,
think
yeah, I
you
just emerged.
yeah,
She was
you
actually
kinda
Yeah, I'm
born
a New
nowhere.
York girl, Long
Yeah.
Island. Shout out my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. But I went to high school in the city, which is what I say to sound cooler. That's
That's
what
cool.
I make sure everyone
Yeah.
knows. That's what I make
Do
sure
you
everyone
want to
knows.
go back? Because as a
Yes.
stand-up, and I know we spoke
Yeah,
about
yeah, I
this.
know. I
You
do want to go back
do.
for sure. And I'll just like live my life in New York
Why?
for sure.
You seem like such
It's
an
just,
LA.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how to drive, which is like such a thing. I
you
literally
should
don't know
go
how to
to New York.
drive.
King
I
of
know.
Beverly
I'm
Hills.
Miss Bus. Yeah, literally. It's just like my favorite place ever. I was just home, and the second I get off the train and I'm in the city, like it's like amazing. It's so fab.
Yeah.
It's so fab and glam, and it's just like it's so fab. I
can
love
see
New
that
York.
for you.
It's-
I can see that
oh
for
my
you.
God.
Losing people.
So
I know,
I know.
everyone.
So that's the thing. It's like
Everyone.
once I move
Yeah.
back to New York, like I will just kind of like live my
Yeah.
life in New York. I just love New York. It's the best place in the world. to
I
me.
can really
Yeah.
see that for you.
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
stand-up wise, comedy,
Amazing
everything.
stand-up wise, yeah, totally.
can
There's such like
rip,
a
like,
cool
3
scene.
shows in a night,
That's
no
the thing,
problem,
totally. Yeah,
It's hard to do that
Yeah,
here.
I love New York. Shout out my girl.
So are you thinking? Are you someone that thinks very long term? I could see that for you. If you might. I feel like you're either the type of person that's like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my 5-year
My
plan,
day,
or
yeah.
if you're like, no
Totally.
way, I'm thinking about.
I don't like to
tonight,
put a
you know?
timeline on anything because
Yeah.
I do feel like that's setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Why have to do it by a specific age? That doesn't mean anything at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, things take time, and that's the process of the thing. That's
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
enjoyable part is the time it takes.
It's a journey, man.
So I don't like to put any timeline on anything, but I do know what I want to do in this life. Yeah, totally.
great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
for sure. Uh-huh.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Wyatt, I feel like is not that at all.
Are you Miss Timeline Queen 2027? Yeah.
Yeah, Wyatt's insane.
Are you
Wyatt
Miss
has
Timeline?
he has
But you
all
know
these
what?
note cards on
Yeah.
the wall. He doesn't have any windows in his room.
Someone told me this
Yeah.
once, and I'm not sure if this
black.
was true, but they said
Black.
that Rachel Sennett used to have a 10-year plan that she used to like show people at parties. Once again, don't know if this is true, but someone did tell me that like she was known for this and being like, I'm gonna have this by this and this by this. And my friend was really inspired by that, and she was like, right, well, if I want to have 2 features in 10 years, that means 1 feature in 5 years.
Yeah.
And if I want to have 1 feature in 5 years, that means
Gotta
a
have
short
this
film
and that,
in
yeah.
3. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, wow, it could be helpful
Yeah.
to set deadlines in a way, but I'm just not that girl. I'm like, I want to see what's happening in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah, totally.
I love what you said about
Yeah.
with Linda and like, I guess returning to Linda, but you not really realizing how much of a take, you know, on your life it would
Yeah.
hold, but or have.
Yeah.
But then once you're in it, and like you commit to it. And
That's
I think
the best way to go about
But
it.
I think being in your 20s is a lot about that, and like letting yourself kind of put your nose up and like smell and follow a scent and like commit
1,000%.
and like let
Think
yourself
about
kind of
how
get
much
lost
you have
on
changed
that path.
in a year since the
Yeah.
last time you were on this podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's amazing.
Totally.
And that's like essentially the 20s. Like,
Yeah.
like you and I, how much
try
like,
everything
totally.
and flop at everything. And
Yeah.
this is the most basic thing that everyone says, but it's because it's true. You don't know who you are, and you don't need to. Try everything. Figure out who you are. Try the thing. Fail at it. Be like, that was so embarrassing. I gave 2 years of my life to that thing. On to the next thing. Because
Totally.
that's what your 20s is. And also that's what like your life is. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
That's- when you
it's
say
so
that, that's
scary.
terrifying to me.
Yeah, totally. But it's so
Yeah.
fun. It's so fun because then you can just be like, wait, this is what I am. Do you know what I
know.
mean? It's
I
so
know.
fierce. You have to like let yourself not be so rigid with it because that's the life. That's life.
And,
That's life.
and it's not like you're moving to Mars,
No.
you know, metaphorically. Like Linda was a stand-up show.
Yeah.
You are a
It's very
stand-up
within the
slash
bounds of
actor
what you're
slash writer.
capable
very
of.
within the bounds
Right,
of my
and
life.
that's
Yeah,
I think like
totally.
the, you know,
that's-
it's like
that's it.
Sure, you could be an accountant and then you can go jump and
Yeah.
be a journalist and then jump. Like I guess you could find a lot about yourself
Totally.
doing that big of jumps, but like
Yeah.
I feel like someone like yourself, you are exploring a lot, but
was
you're
within the
also
world.
very much exactly.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It seems like very, oh my God, I'm now all over here. Now I'm all
Yeah.
over here. But in reality, it's like.
And there were times I
yeah.
felt that with Linda where I was like, oh my God, am I becoming like a comedy show producer? But it's like,
Yeah.
okay, who got? Then you just move. Then you're like,
Yeah.
oh wait, okay, I don't
Right.
want to be that anymore.
But
Move.
that-
it's
train
momentum.
of
It's how do you
thought-
Totally.
use that
Yeah,
to
yeah,
build what you want to
totally.
build.
That train
Yeah.
of thought is like, am I becoming this? Am I becoming-
Totally.
like it's like,
And it's so
that's-
fun to be
That's
like,
fun.
I'm becoming
Maybe
this.
I
Like,
am.
yeah,
Maybe
totally.
I am.
Yeah.
And I
Totally.
like my goals have changed. How I see myself has changed so much,
Yeah.
and that's like what life
And
is.
honestly, I do think having worked for very successful people who have run companies,
Yeah.
that is a mindset that they still hold.
Which is
it's
what?
like,
course.
which is like, our clients are getting into this. Let's follow them there.
Ah,
Like
totally.
let's pivot and let's be able to, you know, this thing is popping off that we never would expect. Let's put more resources into this. You know,
course.
like
I love that.
Like we are whatever we're getting good at. We can then go here. Like you have to be very open minded
Yeah.
as a leader too, even on the
have to
business
be.
side.
It's almost
you
like the
know?
ability to reinvent yourself, but it's not tearing the rug out. It's
Totally.
like adding to it a little bit. You
Well,
know?
even our
Exactly.
friends.
Reframing
Yeah,
yourself.
reframe
Yeah.
it. Totally.
Yeah.
Evie and I have two friends that also throw a stand-up show, and we were getting drinks with them, and they were like, "Oh, we're also on summer hiatus." And we were like, "Really?" They were like, "Yeah, we saw you guys do it," and we were like, "You could do that," and like, you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, it's okay. It doesn't have to be so like
Once again,
focused all the
trend
time.
setting.
Yeah,
You're now
trend
like
setting.
the famous
We
for summer
run,
hiatus.
Yeah.
Summer
but
hiatus
yeah,
is like a fun
totally.
name for a
Also,
comedy show. by the way.
summer hiatus. Yeah, totally.
But I mean, it can almost be like how to have a summer hiatus because it's so
How to have a
true
summer
of like,
hiatus.
I just turned 25 and
Yeah.
I feel like,
Congrats.
thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
When was your birthday?
May. A
Oh,
couple months
fierce.
ago.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But I feel like for the first time in a while, I've just had this sense of like, it's cool to take a breath, you know? And we've spoken about this a lot, but if like, I just traveled for a bit. But in that travel, I was like, for the first couple weeks, I did not touch my phone.
Yeah.
I did not do any work. And I just realized how exhausted I was,
Yeah.
you know, like how burnt
From,
out I
like,
really
by the way,
was. And I had
years
no,
of-
but I had
yeah.
no, I mean, it was like a year since the last time I traveled, but like, I really had no idea how burnt out I actually was until I pulled myself out of it. And coming back, there was this clarity of like, we're doing the thing, like we're doing our thing and like making stuff. And as long as we're nurturing these ideas and leading to action rather than like, maybe I'll do something, maybe I won't, and not doing it, that's just frying yourself and not good. But like, as long as you're really like watering the things that need to be watered,
Yeah.
you can like, it's good to kind of distance yourself at times and take a weekend trip to San Diego,
needed.
you know, or whatever it is.
I've always had this voice in my head that thinks self-care and taking care of yourself is laziness. It's actually a necessary part of the creative process. You have to do it, actually. It's not even like, oh, it's a good thing for you. It's part of the creative process.
There's been no artist who can keep going.
There's been no artist who can do that.
ever.
Burnout is a
And the ones that do,
thing.
it does not end well
They go
at
crazy
all.
Barbie.
Like,
And then the
genuinely.
work is
Yeah.
not there. Like,
Yes.
it's really
Yes.
true. I mean, boy, was I burnt out at one point with Linda, but I didn't even know it. And I was just
Yeah.
like, you're lazy, you're this, you're that. No, it's you actually need to take care of yourself. You need to go hang out with your friends. You know what I mean? Like, you really do. This
You gotta
is
go to
just
the club, like you
gotta
said,
go to the
for you.
club.
Like,
yes.
for someone else that might
You
be
gotta-
going
you
to
gotta
the
go to
club.
the
You have to
Like
go to the
you,
club.
Johnny, need to go to the club.
just
Yeah,
Like,
like
career.
right now, I think
Yeah.
after you should
Yes,
probably go.
like it's just your career. It's
Yeah.
your life.
Yes,
is
yes,
your career is
yes,
one aspect of your
yes,
life. Your friends are another aspect. Your family is another aspect.
Yes.
Your love life is another aspect.
Yeah.
Your grocery shopping and apartment is another aspect.
Yeah.
Your career is just one part of your life.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it's
Yeah,
great
yeah.
that the career we're in is so intertwined with life, but at the same time, it's so incredibly integral
Yes.
Yeah.
that you give yourself space and friends that are your finance friends,
Yeah.
that are your random
Need
job
that.
friends that
You
like,
need a-
Need-
whoa,
You also need
let's
a
talk
finance
about
friend.
I need a
nursing.
finance bro. If you're
You know
a
what I
finance
mean?
bro out there,
Seriously.
please hit me up. But
Yeah.
truly though, yeah,
It's so
you
refreshing
really
to
do.
talk to someone
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait,
That's
I don't have to
actually
like,
so
I'm
true.
working on this feature right
Girl,
now. And
mama.
Oh my
I'm,
God.
I'm,
And sometimes
writing
when you're at a
and-
party and you're at a social scene and you see someone that you know creatively and they start asking about what you're
just like,
doing,
no,
and I'm
no,
like,
no,
stop,
please,
stop,
no.
please. This is where I go to.
Can we just talk about Trader Joe's?
Can we please talk about something else?
Yeah. 'Cause nobody's talking about
you guys,
Trader
please,
Joe's.
please, no one's talking about Trader Joe's. And it's true though. Yeah, you guys, we need to be wrapping it up in that way. Yeah, totally.
And you said it too about acting, of like, to be a great actor, you got to live.
To live
you
your
know?
life.
And
Yeah.
writer.
And
also-
writer,
and
everything.
sometimes
Literally
girl,
everything.
yeah.
To be a
writer,
human being.
actor, stand up,
Yeah.
anything, and also just human being. How? Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Which
Totally.
falls
Yeah.
into the same, or falls in line with like, you know, to be taking care of yourself, to be making sure you're giving yourself time to travel and space to travel and to live. Like all of that feeds back into output.
Totally,
you know?
totally. Even like,
Yeah.
let's say there's such a part of me that's like, girl, you spend so much time on Grindr, and like I was, had a little Grindr era.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those viral videos about Grindr. And it's
Exactly,
because I saw this thing about
exactly.
Grindr, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is all of these profiles. So I made this video like, oh, girl, aren't these all the profiles on Grindr? And then everyone was like,
Yeah.
this is so true. This is so true.
Yes.
You had to have that experience. You know what I mean? If I was like, no dating apps and no boys, and I'm just gonna stay and write my little thing, what would you be writing about? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's
Right.
such
Yeah.
tea. Be at the club. Go on Grindr,
Yeah.
everybody.
Go
Like,
to the
seriously,
club.
that's my advice. But
Yeah.
truly, like, yeah, you just had to live life. Stop beating yourself up for it in your head for just laying on your bed. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, let's be real here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I
And
feel.
and when you're grinding
space.
too, it makes the laying on your bed
Girl. girl.
So much better. It's like, I'm
No,
doing
I
this
know.
for me.
Years
I get to do
ago.
this.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Not
I
me
guess-
bed rotting.
I know, girl. Not me bed rotting right now. Girl, bed rotting.
Dude,
girl.
we sit on this couch all day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like, we don't
hot
move.
Cheetos.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I miss living with people.
Like, you're
oh my
here.
God, I'm
Like,
so
just
jealous.
Wyatt and I
yeah, it's
legitimately-
So nice.
I know.
The cameras
Yeah.
are
Saw
off. We're,
us, yeah.
we're still here.
Oh, stop! That's
sort of
just
half-
with these
half
microphones.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hold the mics.
Drinking hot Cheetos.
Drinking hot.
Drinking hot Cheetos, obviously.
I don't know about that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, live your life and like go to the club, I guess.
Do you have roommates?
I live alone now, and I really miss that living
have a
with
beautiful
roommates.
apartment.
I like my apartment.
Are you gonna
Really?
keep
Oh my
it?
god, really? I feel like it's like tank and flop.
Oh my gosh,
Really?
it was
Okay,
when I
wait.
went for
That it was also
trainers-
that's the cleanest it's ever been in my whole life.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
But no, it's a
Yeah,
gorgeous.
your birthday
yeah,
was-
it was
uh-huh.
good
yeah, it
Happy
was
birthday.
March. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Marks and March.
Yeah, Marks and March. Ah, that's what they say about us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do live alone. I really miss living with people, though. I
do.
really miss living with
Interesting.
people.
We had
You had fun roommate setups.
I,
like at UNC,
they're my
I
closest
remember.
friends. Yeah, they were like my best friends.
Right.
I lived with my
Yeah.
best friends like for a few years out of college, and that was like so amazing.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, talking about balance and everything. But there's the flip side of that too. If your roommates are all in film,
Yeah,
or all
totally.
stand-ups, and you come back and you're
Totally,
like, here
totally.
we go.
1,000%.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
you're writing tonight? Well, I guess I should too.
Totally.
You
Like,
know?
it don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
That is part of it.
Yeah.
So after this, we're interviewing Parker Fenedy, who
Fears.
you guys had seance
Yeah.
in the
The
first
first-
ever
the
50
first
festival.
Which is obviously the best film of all
What
time.
questions do you have for Parker? I feel
Oh,
like
that's
this
an
could be-
amazing
this could be
Dude,
question.
also
Man.
Seance I saw. Sorry, while
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
thinking
no,
about
go
questions
off.
for
Yeah,
Parker.
yeah.
Seance has like a few thousand views.
Seance
on
randomly
YouTube.
one day climbed
Topped
1,000 views in one day, and I was like, "What?" And then it kept going up 1,000 views for like a week, and I was like, "What's going on?"
What
Out
is-
of absolutely nowhere,
Yeah.
nowhere, absolutely
Yeah.
nowhere.
Just hit the algorithm.
Yeah.
They
It
like
must have hit the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe
you
our
can tell on
podcast-
YouTube.
Yeah,
could
maybe-
happen
You
with
can
our-
tell what
What
video
about-
you can tell on YouTube analytics what video played before your video, because you know when it's like they give you options, and it was,
Oh.
I just noticed it was a bunch of other short films.
Okay.
So it was like people
Yeah.
must have been watching a short film, and then
Yeah, just keeps going.
randomly the algorithm started recommending them Seance, and it got like randomly 8,000 views within like a few days, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Go off, Queen!"
Come on.
Seance
Yeah.
is
Queen
love
Seance.
Seance is incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
Seance. I actually
Johnny
People can
with the
watch
long
it. Yeah,
hair.
Yeah.
With
We'll,
the
we'll
long
link that.
hair,
We'll
though.
link
If
that.
there's
for-
one thing I wish I didn't have in that, it was long hair. I hate my hair in that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That's the one critique of that film. That's
Yeah,
the
I
one
know,
bad thing
yeah.
about it. But Seance, I really do need to watch Seance again, because that was me at my like, I'm not doubting myself. This is who I am, and I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
That-
And
it was
we
kind of
made
a
it.
moment,
We made it in
yeah.
like 3 days, and I was like, "Oh, Parker, I have this script. Should we make this thing?" And we made it for $0
Yeah.
in 3 days, and
So
it's
insane.
That was
my
when I
favorite
first
thing I've done, and that's how I met you guys.
I first met
Yeah.
you. I
Uh-huh.
only knew Luke basically.
Yeah.
Going to the first 50-50 in
Yeah,
USC.
yeah. Totally.
And I was
When
driving.
you only knew me going.
Like I didn't know all the USC people.
yeah.
like
But that makes it sound like
Johnny
we
and-
met at 50.
You guys
No,
met.
no.
Yeah.
I knew Luke.
We've
Yeah.
known each other for
For way
24
too long.
years.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick of him.
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
basically like I met you and Parker and we vibed and I drove you guys home.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, totally.
Remember?
Yeah. So it's like that once
Yeah.
again, going back to like
Crazy.
do something. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have the wherewithal to be like, but a seance, does it have potential to turn into a feature? Like, do you know what I mean?
Does
like,
it have
no,
legs?
Yeah, I just
Does it have
made
legs?
it. It doesn't, you know what I mean? I just made
Which
it.
it
and I did
does.
something,
Yeah.
which
It
I
does.
might. Yeah,
Totally
but,
has legs.
Yeah, totally. Whereas, yeah.
It's still in theaters.
Yeah.
It's
But
crazy.
yeah, I do love seance, and it's wonderful. Everyone would seriously go watch seance. It's
But
so
yeah, what do you have to say?
fun.
to
questions for Parker.
What I say to
Questions
Parker,
for
just like
Parker.
kind of like, hey, what's up, girl?
Yeah,
and just
for
kind of
sure.
like, what's the vibe? And I know that she is kind of thinking about doing more with her last short film, and I want to know if she's still interested
Yeah.
in that. Maybe, I don't know what she's talked about publicly, but like she's told me her ideas. I just want to be like, kind of, what are your ideas on that?
Mm-hmm.
And also, what are you reading right now? And also, what
That's
are
great.
you reading right now?
That's
and what are
great.
you watching?
That's
And what are
great.
you eating? And
We
what
could
are you eating?
ask a couple of these.
What are you
to
eating?
Johnny.
Yeah.
What are you
What are
eating?
you
Okay,
eating and
yeah.
who are you talking to? And
Okay.
yeah,
So the
just-
questions are becoming.
yeah, just really anything.
Do you watch a lot or you not?
Oh, it's Love Island or Bust.
Yeah.
It's like truly
Yeah.
Instagram Reels. I need to start watching more. I have no
don't have to.
references.
That's
I have like
not-
3 references that I go like really hard for,
Yeah.
and then like other than that, I don't watch
What are
anything.
your- yeah, what are your
So it's like
badass?
30 Rock. It's
Okay.
like truly, it's like 30
That's
Rock.
a good one.
Love,
Yeah,
love,
'cause
love,
it's like,
love.
okay.
It's 30 Rock, Seek Treatment, and Family Guy. Like that's
Yeah.
like truly where I
Seek Treatment
that's-
being a podcast.
Being a
Yeah.
podcast. That's
Right.
my favorite
Yeah.
TV show. That's like truly what I watch. It's like I know nothing, and BB is like encyclopedia reference mother,
of course,
and
she's-
every time
yeah.
she's like, oh, and it's like this. And I'm
She's Miss
girl,
Brain
I don't
over
know
there.
that.
What
And
do
she's
you
like, can you
say?
please watch it? And I really do need to have more references and start watching more things. I don't watch literally anything.
Yeah.
Oopsie. I've gotten more into movies. AMC Pass.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I need to start watching more things.
Which
for
AMC do you go
sure.
to? All right, who's near you?
Grove or
Yeah.
Century City.
Okay.
Fierce
Nice.
House.
Yeah.
Love that day.
Nice.
Love going to a movie.
Fun.
Yeah. I have no references though.
Well,
That's fun.
it is so great to catch up with you, and
so
this
great
is such
to
a
catch up
full
with
circle
you.
moment. I mean, we see each other all the time, but like getting to
But
talk,
to do it on cam.
to
Come
do it on
on.
For
cam,
content. To
yeah,
be clip
content
farmed,
cam,
clip farmed.
yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
why would we
Farm,
see each
content
other,
farm.
without a
Farm.
yeah,
literally.
exactly.
Why do we
Podcast
do that?
farm.
Yeah, literally.
We should start like the farm.
Yeah,
Wow.
we should
Yeah, the
start a
farm.
clip
Yeah.
farm. We should start a clip farm.
We
Oh my
have-
God,
we
that's
basically have a clip farm.
amazing.
Right,
Yeah, we need to
totally.
be clip farming right now.
You should
If
see
you're- if you're not
the
clip
setup in the
farming,
back.
Yeah, we got
We'll show
like
you after.
we have
Thank God.
70 iPhone
Yeah.
3s just scrolling on.
And then watching your own
reels.
videos, liking your
Yeah.
own videos,
It goes
following,
up and then it goes
commenting.
down.
Literally.
Yeah.
And you guys, that's how life is just content. Life
Just
is
on our
content.
profile,
Life
just
is
like
not
that.
meant to be lived. It's
Yeah.
meant to be turned into
Content
vertical,
farm.
short form
Yeah,
content.
life is meant to be
Exactly.
farmed.
Yeah, that's my final piece of advice.
Well, it's an honor to get to ask you this final question.
What?
Which is the question that we ask
have
all
it
of our
at the
guests.
time?
I'm so like sprawled and messy.
I don't even know if we
think
had
did.
this
No,
final question.
No, totally.
And we've sort of hovered around this topic for a while, but Johnny, what is the dream for you?
Oh, amazing. What is the dream for me? I really just want to do, like, I want to make a little, like, weird artsy movies and just, like, disappear into New York. I always say I want to live in a small apartment with a big man, and I really stand by that. Like, I just want to have maybe, like, a little cult following of gay guys who like what I make and enjoy the films that I make. And then I could just like go to a little bar and do stand up every once in a while. And someone's like, oh, we're going to see Johnny Marx tonight. Like he's doing this show. And I just go and I talk about like what I'm experiencing at that time. I always say like I want to put out films like how Lorde puts out albums where it's just like every 4 years she drops something and then she goes and experiences life. And then she's like, okay, here's what I'm up to now. And yeah, I just hope to have a very like full life where I get to hang out with my friends and family all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, totally. Like that's
Congrats.
kind of my vibe at the moment.
I was saying congratulations.
Congrats on all
And I
that,
have
by
it.
the way.
And actually,
Yeah.
that's
Congrats on
actually
all
my
that.
day to day. So now my
It
dream
sounds-
is.
so what do you act?
And,
Yeah, long story short, I'm living my dream.
Yeah, literally, I'm living the dream.
That'd be pretty funny. Like,
Yeah,
if you
totally.
just describe
That's
your-
my day to day.
I wanna
Yeah,
live in.
yeah. So
That's
kind of
amazing.
My
though.
dream. I
It-
just
that
kinda
does
wanna
sound
vibe out.
very New York.
It's very
I'm
it's
such
very
a New
you.
York girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a little
Damn.
apartment girl.
What do you think the timeline is? You think you're going out
I
there?
keep telling people, oh, probably my late 20s I'll move to New York. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it's approaching. So it's really
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah,
I feel
like-
like truly 16.
That's why you can't do timelines.
That's why you can't
Yeah.
do timelines because your late 20s are
Well,
always approaching.
we'll try
yeah.
to find like a
Yeah,
big man. for
Totally.
you. I
Please.
think
And if you're,
Yeah.
and seriously,
Yeah.
if you're a big man
Yeah.
out there, please hit me up. Johnny Marx on
Yeah.
Instagram with 2 X's. Please.
There you go. Yeah.
Please hit me up, girl. And that's a real one. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Fantastic. All right, that's a conclusion.
That's a great. That's a great.
We did it.
episode, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're the best.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Did you learn something? I'm like your mom. Did you learn something in this episode? I hope so. Or not. That's okay. Thanks for hanging. Make sure you follow us at the 50/50 Fest on Instagram. And give us 5 stars because why not? Why not? Subscribe. Why not? You know? Why not? Okay, bye.